How's it going, YouTube? Raj here. Today I'm back with a fragrance review. This one is going to be part of my affordable fragrance series. If you don't know about this series, this is basically where I take a look at some fragrances that in my collection that are at the cheaper side, affordable fragrances, and it just goes to show that you don't have to spend a huge amount of money on fragrance to smell good. This fragrance which I'm going to be looking at, is from the house of Burberry. This Burberry for Men, which was released a long time ago, actually, 1995. I see this fragrance discounted everywhere, online, in stores, for a reason, which I'll touch on that later. And that's the reason why it's in this series. You're looking at paying around £30 or $40 for 100 ml, and it comes in three sizes. This is the 30. It also comes in the 50, and obviously I just said the 100. Pretty simple design in terms of packaging, or the bottle here. Kind of nothing going on, to be honest. Looks good, quite simple. Overall, this fragrance is quite simple. You know, easy to wear, reliable, kind of like a nice work scent, classic masculine scent, typical of fragrances released around this time. Top notes are Tagete, Blackcurrant, green apple, peach, marigold, and bergamot. Middle notes are Jasmine, Sandalwood, Cedar, and moss, which, to be honest, are the dominating notes for me. Lavender, mint, and lime. And in the base, musk, vanilla, and tonka bean. So quite standard dry down, actually. In the top of this fragrance, I have to say that the top opening 15-20 minutes are not that great. I have to admit, when I first tried this fragrance on, I was a little bit disappointed. And I've had this fragrance for a while now, and every time I wear it, I never enjoy the opening blast. It feels like they've tried to create this fruity apple cocktail vibe. Comes off as really synthetic in a really bad way as well. It's like a fizzy apple, like a carbonated apple drink, maybe something like appetizer, maybe. Poured on top of some rotting wood. Not exactly the best scent, but it's not bad. It's not offensive, but it's just not really very well done. As the fragrance starts to open up, it does turn into something actually pretty good, and this fruitiness subsides. This fizzy, kind of slightly off-putting fruitiness subsides, and really what you get is a woody, dry, sawdust, DIY woodiness coming from the sandalwood, coming from the cedarwood. Actually, cedarwood is the dominating note in this whole fragrance. It's very masculine. It could be easily, you know, a guy working in a DIY store might smell like this. But still a little bit interesting, still a little bit herbal. You've got a touch of lavender in the background, which is not that obvious. It comes up now and again. And this fragrance really is actually quite simple. I had a look at the note breakdown yesterday in preparation for this review, and I was actually quite surprised to see so many notes in this fragrance, because I don't really feel that it's got a lot going on in it. So you've got this fruitiness, this woodiness now starting to come through, and then really get this oak moss vibe. And obviously oak moss, typical in men's fragrances, cedarwood, typical in men's fragrances, and musk, typical in men's fragrances. You're not getting anything special here. This is not going to be a fragrance in your collection which is going to be one of your favorites. It's not going to blow you away, but it's quite a nice, reliable one. You know, it's like a plain white t-shirt. Maybe not your most exciting piece of clothing, but one that you always like to wear, and it's always easy to wear and good to wear. So yeah, as the cedar vibe takes over this fragrance, you still then get a little bit of musk in the background, and a little bit of vanilla just thrown in there, but it's quite subtle. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Givenchy's Pie, in the dry down of Givenchy Pie, that is, and also a little bit of Chanel Allure Homme's Edition Blanche. This fragrance is not actually as good as those two. But it does have those facets, that kind of slightly that tonka lemoniness in Edition Blanche, and the almost slightly harsh vanilla in Givenchy's Pie feature in this fragrance as well. And that's kind of it. That's pretty much it with this fragrance. Slight fruitiness, cedar, musk, and vanilla. Quite safe overall. As I said, this is not going to be a mind-blowing fragrance for most of you guys, but it's just quite easy to wear. You know, maybe on a Sunday evening you're not doing anything, or a Sunday you're not doing anything, and you just want to throw something on. You're not too worried about, not too worried, but you're not too keen on spending huge amounts of money. This would be a really good option. I think another fragrance which I actually prefer to this, which reminded me a lot of it the other day when I smelt it on paper, was Lanvin's Avant Garde, the one with the sort of like turquoise thing going down the middle. I haven't tried it on skin, but I just felt it was a better version of this, but I'm not 100% sure at this stage. So this performs quite well. It's not a huge screamer. It sits quite nicely on the skin, and it's kind of quite reserved at the same time. The opening hour or two, you definitely will notice. You will definitely be noticed, and it's quite. You pick up the fragrance quite a lot. But as the fragrance develops, I'm getting about 7 or 8 hours actually. Pretty good longevity, I have to say. It works quite well in the heat, which I wasn't didn't think actually would be the case. I've worn this in all seasons, and it really actually works quite well on a kind of a spring day when it's not too hot. It's a little bit of chill in the air, but it's not too hot. It's not too cold at the same time. Quite a classic men's fragrance, but in style, not necessarily in popularity. So overall, my rating for Burberry for men, I'm going to give this a rating of 6 out of 10, which is maybe not the highest score. It's quite average, just a little bit above average. I think this would be a good addition to your collection, but if you are like me, kind of far along on your fragrance journey, you are likely, or you're unlikely to probably buy this, I would say. I'm just making an assumption here, simply because there are 101 different better fragrances than this. And having said that, I probably won't buy this again. I'm looking to streamline my collection and only really add fragrances which I really love, and this one just doesn't make the cut anymore. But it is good. I'm not gonna, I don't know, I'll probably hold on to it. I'm not really sure, but it's a good fragrance. It's, as I said, safe, reliable, easy to wear, nothing mind-blowing, but a good scent. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think of this fragrance. If you have tried it, do you feel that it is dated nowadays in today's environment? Do you still like wearing it? Always good to hear from you, and I'll see you guys soon.